Well, hello, hello. I was just about to pop my makeup on for the day and wanted to chat about the idea of letting things be simple. I always talk about how we are allowed to let things in our business and our life be easy, and that's true. And although business ownership is not always easy, it's not always sunshine and rainbows, I do think that there is a lot to be said for simplifying things. And that is one of the things that I am working on in my business right now is, and I'm not just talking about like simplifying offers or simplifying, I'm just talking about like as a whole, I feel like I have had so many irons in the fire, if you will. And it just feels like I have been running around doing too much. And when you're doing too much, you're not really able to do a whole lot of nothing. And so I am realizing that. And also, just first of all, admitting that to myself is hard because I like to be the kind of person that does everything all the time um, and be able to like do. And if the thing is, I don't know, I'm not saying that you can't do all the things because I still plan on doing all the things. But I'm saying a simpler way. We can simplify it, right? We can make it more manageable and more repeatable. And so, I've been thinking about email marketing, podcast, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of the things. By the way, I'm cracking myself up because my neck is a completely different color than the rest of my body, but then as soon as it blends down to my shoulders, it like all blends in perfectly because I've been tanning in a floaty like this because I'm reading my book. So like all of this is white and then down here it's just all tan. I have to like blend like crazy down my neck. Anywho, so I've been thinking about all these pieces, and then plus I'm like working on updating my membership, my signature coaching membership right now. And I'm doing all of these things. And then I've taken all of June off of client work, but in July, that is coming back into my life. And I'm so excited about that. But I also have to prioritize my time differently than I did in June. And so, I just really want to figure out what simplifying things looks like for myself. And also, I have a virtual assistant whom I love so dearly, and she does the most incredible job. And so I really want to be able to like give her tasks to do as well that like take things off of both of our plates, and like make our lives so much more consistent because we have a system, a routine. And so, that being said, I am working right now on trying to figure out what that looks like for my business. And I've been doing, between she and I, we've been like creating and scheduling a ton of trial reels and TikToks and putting them on a Facebook page to gear up for when I start running ads to passive products and all these things. So we've been setting a lot of the tone. I also, when I went on vacation to Ireland earlier this month, I gave her like a big list of things that I wanted to see, like what she would be able to make happen and things that like we haven't really talked about, but I was just like, you know what, have some fun with it, see where I just wanted to like establish a baseline, right, of like what she was comfortable doing. And so she ended up helping get some podcast outlines written and the show notes and the emails that go along with that. I have another gal that works in my business that is setting up like all of my like Zapier back end stuff. So like when somebody joins a product, they get added into a segment in Flowdesk because I like to do all of my email marketing in Flowdesk, even though I could do it in Kajabi. But like if I'm gonna do that, then I need a system, like I need something in place that's gonna take care of that for me so I don't have to manually do that. So there's a lot of like these moving pieces. And I'm just trying to find simple things. So one of the things that I've really been realizing is that I've been spending far too much time on my phone. The doom scrolls have been out of this world, and I think it's the thing is, there is nothing wrong with a good doom scroll. I love a good doom scroll as much as the next person. I love sending funny videos to my friends and my husband, and like all of that is peachy keen. But when it comes to doing it instead of what you should be doing, or using it as a form of dopamine, it's just not healthy anymore, you know? And so I created this new free challenge called Doom Scroll to Dopamine, and I'm really excited about it. And one of the things that I'm really wanting to start implementing is set time on my phone, and then and so I'm kind of reverse engineering the whole, people like brick their phone or they like lock it, because I've tried that before where it's like you only get a certain amount of time on your phone each day, and then the rest of it it's like locked. For me, it's almost like I just don't even want to have my phone on me if I'm not like creating. And so I have been trying to get into this mindset of I don't want to use my phone for consumption anymore. I really only want to use it to create, to put things out there, to expand, to grow, to show what I can create. Because I've spent a whole lot of time in consumption mode, and like it can be wildly inspiring. And I'm the kind of person I love to be inspired. I love to use it for inspiration, but it's also like, when are we going to stop getting inspired and actually start doing it ourselves? And so with this whole idea of doom scroll to dopamine, one of the parts of the challenge is to have a set time each day, a window of time each day where you have tasks that you do on your phone to create for your business. And then from there, there is a hair on my face. Hold on. Got it. From there, you can then just put your phone away. Like you've done the part that you needed to do today. And if you want to set aside a separate time to spend some time scrolling, you can do that too. But for the most part, like all I really want to be doing on my phone is the marketing that I need to do for my business. And I have not been doing that, but I've been doing the other things. So I'm really looking forward to, in the next week or so, getting a solid game plan for my own marketing, especially leading into July, which is going to be leading into August, which is when the new Alchemy program officially launches. And I have really big goals for the program as a whole, the amount of people that I would love to see join, like not just at the launch, but like regularly. And I know in order to make that happen, I have to be radically responsible for my marketing, for my program. Like that's on me, you know? And so I am just really looking forward to simplifying the things that I'm doing. So it's like, okay, I'm going to show up every day during this hour or whatever time slot that I choose, and I am going to post story slides that I have pre-created, or that I have, I want to spend intentional time bulk creating what I can, but then intentionally creating in the moment as well. And have, like, for example, again, letting it be simple. Like when I get done with my podcasts, why not bulk record them, like for the month, send the outline to my VA and have her make some graphics for it. And it's like, that's all almost like on autopilot after the first month. It's like, okay, we've got the templates, we got the everything. Like it's easy peasy. And so I think that for the longest time, I've just been trying to overcomplicate things when the people that I follow that are super successful and doing what I want to be doing, and having the business that I want to have, if you really look at the formula that they're using, it is so simple. They're all doing the same thing over and over and over every single day. And I think that that's hard for me with my ADHD brain, and with this idea of like, and I think it's hard for all of us. That's the other thing I will add. Like I have talked to so many women, and I of course, we are all, I feel like a lot of times, our own worst clients. But like, I talk to my clients and I tell them all the time, like, no, just repeat yourself, repeat yourself, repeat yourself. Like, people are not seeing everything at all ever. And the people that are, if there is anyone that's seeing everything that you're posting, they obviously love it because they're still following you. You know what I mean? Like, so your fans, your biggest fans, are going to love if they see every single thing that you post. And the people that aren't seeing everything need to see more of you. Like, you're doing a disservice if you're not showing up. And so I think that I just need to get more in that headspace. And so that's what I'm really trying to do with this, like, simplification. So it's like, okay, I'm going to bulk record my podcast episodes, send the outlines to my VA, have her bulk create and schedule the posts that go along with those so that I'm advertising that in the background. Then I've got, okay, now I'm going to work on my alchemy coaching membership, right? So I've been working on the curriculum for that. One thing that I've been doing to kind of simplify that is, instead of looking at it as this whole giant 30 module curriculum, I've been going one pillar at a time, diving deeper into one section at a time, and letting that be like my one source of like inspiration and excitement for the day. So I pick one section in the pillar and I'm like, this is what I'm going to be obsessed with today. And I make it my entire personality for that day. And I simplify it down to that one pillar. And then that makes it so that pillar is like so juicy and good because I spent the full day in, like, fully immersed in that. And then the next day I pick another one and then I do that and then I pick another one. And it's been like really good to be able to get through every single piece of this, and I'm so on schedule and I'm so like good with that. And then I look at like my Instagram stories and it's like, I have so many resources to be able to, especially now that I have like the full alchemy plan, and I know what's going to be in it. I know what my aligned client's goal is when they join. I know what the bridge looks like, as in like the curriculum that's inside of it. I know what the transformation is when somebody is in alchemy. And so I can start creating content for that. So why wouldn't I be, right? And so then I'm like, I've got so many resources I've created in the past that I can just start plugging all of the deliverables, the emotion, the feelings, all of the things. And it already has a sales page. So I could take a lot of the vibes from the sales page as well and turn it into incredible content and start selling in my stories. And I can create those ahead of time too, and then just post them during my allotted time while I'm not, I'm not on my phone for most of the day. I can post that during my allotted time. There's just so much that I feel like I have been skating around. I don't know what that phrase is. But I've been like trying to almost avoid because it's too simple. And in my mind, it's like, if it's too simple, then it's like, I need to be doing something more than that. But what I'm realizing though is that like simple works. Simple works every single time. And the people out there doing the best are doing the best because they have figured out their version of simplicity in their business and in their content, in their marketing, all of that. And so that's where I'm at. Same thing with like email marketing. I get on a roll where I send an email every single day for a month. And then I ghost for like 2 months. And it's like, Miranda, why are we doing this? Like, there's no reason. And I've always been an all or nothing kind of person. And it's kind of like, that's just who I am. But it's also, I have to recognize that if I want certain results, the nothing of all or nothing is getting me not the results that I want? And so I'm just trying to pivot my follow-up, what's the word? The way that I, like, my action behind it. Because everything that I've done thus far has worked. I have a wonderful business that I love so dearly. But it's also it's not going to get me where I want to go and where I want to be in a financial way, in a business structure way. it got me here, but it's not going to get me there, if that makes sense. So I just know that there are things that I need to do. And for me, that means simplifying things. Part of that too is recognizing where my boundaries are and that I'm allowed to change. I was just telling one of my clients in alchemy, I was telling her that she like, you own your business. You can 1000% make all the rules. And if people don't like it, they don't have to work with you. And if people don't want to be a part of that, then they can find somebody else who has different boundaries or has different versions of, standards and things. And I'm recognizing that too as I move into a season where I'm going to be back in client work for a little while. I have realized that I need to shift some of my boundaries because of my goals. And like, your boundaries are allowed to change as long as you're being vocal and upfront about them. Your boundaries are allowed to change, and depending on the season of life you're in. And so that's part of me simplifying things too, is recognizing that right now I do need more space. I do need more time to work on my own things. And like, I'm allowed to say no to projects. I'm allowed to say no to timelines. If I can't do it or don't want to do it in a certain timeline, I don't have to. And that's this is my life, you know what I mean? Like, I'm allowed to change and move and say yes and no to anything and everything. And so I think that's a part of like simplifying as well. So I'm simplifying my offer suite in a lot of ways because as we've talked in the past, like, my courses as individual things are kind of going away, and then Alchemy is the signature coaching membership for that. But then I'm also having like low ticket offers that are going to be added in, and like, there's a whole offer suite that exists, but it's significantly more simple than it was a year ago for me. And I'm simplifying my marketing in the way that I'm finding systems to help me with those. So again, like I was saying with the stories, like, I have invested in so many different things, templates and just all sorts of things, and I have access to things for email, things for Instagram stories, things for posts and content and all of this, and I'm like not utilizing it. And I have an amazing VA who could be utilizing it for me and helping on that end of things, and I've never even like thought to hand that off. And so I've got the marketing side of things that I'm simplifying my client work and how I hold those boundaries. Moving into like my day-to-day life, having a routine, having a schedule for me is simplifying things, because yes, I'm adding like more to my plate when I add a morning routine or add a night routine, but I'm simplifying it because now I don't have decision fatigue. Now I know exactly what I need to do. Same thing with like doom scroll to dopamine. It's like, now I have a 1 hour time block with a checklist of exactly what I need to get done in that 1 hour time block on my phone, and I'm not worried about it. And like, the first day that I did the doom scroll to dopamine challenge, I cut 6 hours of screen time off of my phone. And so it's like, that's 6 hours of the day that I'm getting back that I don't have to work extra. That means I can go lay in the pool more. That means I can go walk my dog. That means I can go hang out with my husband. Like, I can go on a little lunch date, you know? And so I think that having these simplified things just helps us so much. And I'm really in a season right now of recognizing where I want to be spending my time. I reconnected recently with a friend of mine, my best friend, who like, we haven't seen each other in 3 years. We've both been so busy, so crazy. Like, things have been nuts, and we just like not ran into each other. We knew that the other one was going to be there, but like, we saw each other for the first time about a week ago, and like, it just reignited this whole joy in my heart that I have. I just was like, oh my gosh, I miss our friendship. I miss talking to this person. And ever since, we've been talking and we've been making plans and we've been doing all these things. And again, it comes back to simplifying, like, what is important to me? What is my version of success? What do I want to accomplish in this amount of time? And what are the things that I need to do to get me there? Because the list is not 100 tasks long. It is 5. It is 5. And when we stop looking at life and at success like this massive to-do list of like, oh my gosh, 75 things are happening right now and I need to do them all right now, and especially if you're somebody with ADHD, especially if you're somebody who has anxiety, hello, bing, bing, I got both. It can feel so overwhelming to have all these tasks running. But at the end of the day, we have to look at, okay, what do I want? What's going to get me there? What do I need to do today? Because how we spend our days is how we spend our lives. And if we are choosing 3 to 5 tasks per day that's getting us closer to the direction of our dreams, that's simple, right? But that is going to get us so much farther than trying to do 20 tasks in a day, more than half of which are not relevant to the plot, and you're not even finishing everything. I'd rather finish 3 tasks than start 10. And that's really hard for me to do. That's really hard for me to put into action because of the way that my brain works. But I also have to be like radically responsible for that mindset. That's my job. That's my job to figure out. So that's where I'm at. That's what we are working on. And let me know what you're simplifying. Let me know where you are making things a little easier on yourself in your life. If you need help figuring out, okay, here's my version of success. What are those things that I need to do? Shoot me a DM. Let's workshop it together. I hope you have the best rest of your day, and I will talk to you later.